Howdy, partners. Okay, that was probably not clear. Howdy, partners. I am back at it again. And just talking for a third blog to you all. Day's been pretty good so far. I woke up. First, let me turn down the game. Woke up, prayed the rosary, and then I got started with things to do. I went to this waffle place to pick up. I just heard a sound effect, and I'm not sure what it was. Let me minimize the game and see. Okay, that was an email. Was that an email? Well, I don't feel like stopping the video and playing it back to see if the audio was recording. Well, is still recording. Pretty sure it is. Hopefully it is. And if not, then I will have to, just be upset with myself afterward. But, yeah. Woke up, prayed the rosary, and went to this place, this waffle place down the street from my house, and I haven't been there in a few months. I think the last time I was there was well, obviously it was sometime earlier this year. It's not like it could have been later this year, but I think it was around maybe February, March, something like that. And I got I can't remember what it was called, but let's just call it a sausage, egg, and cheese waffle. And I was stuck between that and a spicier waffle sandwich that they had. But the guy was cool, and he just gave me a little bit of their house spicy sauce. So that was really nice. And I got home and ate it, and it was okay. I don't think that I'll be getting that again because it was very, very basic. I'm actually glad that I asked him for the sauce, that I wanted something a little bit, to add a little spice to it, because that thing, it wasn't dry. It was just very, very bland. It was called a sausage, egg, and cheese waffle on the menu, and boy, that is exactly what it was. Like, that thing was, yeah, that was exactly that. Nothing more and nothing less. So, yeah. But it was okay. It was food. It tasted okay. It wasn't awful. And I enjoyed it. It was... I guess I enjoyed it. I don't know. But the house sauce that they had was really good. It was actually this... I don't know exactly what it was called, or... I mean, I'll just call it the Waffle House. It wasn't literally Waffle House, but, the waffle place hot sauce. And I really like that it wasn't red for once. I understand why hot sauce is red. I'm not saying that it should be blue or anything, but it's pretty nice to see non-red hot sauce again. I mean, not again, but I guess every now and then for once. And it really fit. It was, it gave it a different kind of appeal. I think that's the word that I'm looking for. Yeah, we'll just say it gave it a different kind of appeal. And I really liked it. It was good sauce. And that is what made it enjoyable. After that, what did I do after that? I think I just did a little bit of straightening up around the house. It's still morning and I can't even remember what I did. Jeez, I am getting old. I did a little bit of straightening up around the house, and I went to run some errands after that. I really wasn't sure what I was going to do in what order when I left the house, but I ended up going to get some meat from my local butcher because I'm not on a strict carnivore diet, but I do the carnivore diet, and it makes me feel really good. Um, yeah, I always feel good when I'm on. Ooh, when I'm on the diet. Almost died in the game. I always feel good when I'm on it. I feel clean on the inside. I feel light. Feel energized. Kind of energized. Well, at least like I have more energy than I would if I was just on my ordinary diet. And I'm not a very disciplined person, so I kind of need, air quote, need, I guess, diets like this to stick to so that I can stick to something and, do that. So, yeah, I do a carnivore diet. I went and got some meat from the place, and I actually wasn't able to do that. So I haven't been able to do it for the past 2 weeks. I don't think that was what I meant there was very clear. I've been off of the carnivore diet for the past 2 weeks because money has been kind of tight because I'm saving for a home loan. But before that, I was doing it for 3 or 4 weeks. I want to say 4 weeks. Yeah, I was doing carnivore diet for 4 weeks. And like I said, felt great. And during these past 2 weeks when I was off of the diet, I wasn't... Yeah, my body really felt it. I didn't feel very good. I was much more lethargic. It was kind of hard for me to focus on things. And my mood kind of suffered. And you could say that it was because of this or that reason. I think it was a combination of different things, but my diet absolutely had a big part of it, at least on my energy levels and how I was feeling physically, if not mentally. It had a big part in that. So I'm looking forward to getting back on the diet now that I've got paid and I am able to, and I have my food. So yeah. Got my food, and then I went to Barnes & Noble so that I could return this manga that I bought. I'm always buying the latest volume of something that I already have by mistake, and it's really annoying when I do that and I get home and I look at it, I start reading it, I'm like, wait a minute, I already have this. And then I have to go back and return it. And the manga that I bought by mistake that I already had was Night of the Living Cat. It is it's a weird hybrid between a gag manga and a apocalyptic story. It's a weird hybrid of gag, apocalypse, and action. It's really cool. It's a one-of-a-kind story, at least that I've read so far. There's probably more like it, but, it's the only one I've read that's held my attention as much as it has. And there are some parts... Okay, so, long story short, the story is that everyone... I won't spoil it, I'll only give you the broad overview of it. But that is that some virus broke out that created a cat virus, and I died. That created a cat virus. Okay, let me put down the controller so I can kind of focus on what I'm saying. A cat virus broke out, somehow. The story hasn't explained that yet. And the cats turn other people, only people, not animals, into cats when they touch them. And then those people that turn into cats, they also contract the virus, obviously. And they then turn other people into cats. And it's played both seriously and as a gag. What I mean by gag is everyone in this world loves cats. In the manga world, I mean, everyone there is absolutely insane about cats. It's crazy. They lose their minds. They can't bring themselves to hate cats. They don't. Okay, well, I don't want to spoil the tone of it, and I kind of have a little bit already, but I don't want to spoil it any further. So it's a story that I would absolutely recommend everyone picking up. It's really neat. The artwork is great, and it's just a funny story. It's a really cool story. I can't wait to see where it goes next. It does have a little bit of it does have some Yuri in it, and I'm not gonna lie, I kind of hate Yuri. I'm not a fan of it at all. There's no way this dude just clocked me. Oh wow, he did. That's funny. I didn't think this character that would see me that far, this enemy would see me that far, but he did. Anyway, yeah, it's got some Yuri in it. I'm not a big fan of Yuri. That is to say, I'm not a fan at all. But it's pretty mild and easy to ignore, so it's not really that bad. And it's also kind of played up as a joke, just a little bit. And it's funny, you know. Sometimes when you don't like stuff, all you can do is really laugh at it, so yeah, it's alright. Let me see what else. So I returned that, and then I actually exchanged that for... Oh man, this enemy is high maintenance. I cannot... There we go. I'm sorry, just a second. I'm fighting one of these perfumers in Elden Ring, and I really hate this enemy because it just killed me again, and the hitboxes of the perfumes are so hard to read. You would think that the damage doesn't occur until the perfume, projectile, spray, whatever you want to call it, until it explodes into, you know, its explosive effect, whatever it is, the damaging effect. But it starts taking large amounts of damage if you even step into the hitbox, the projectile, the spray, before it blows up. And it's just really hard to get around because it's hard to time the rolls through it right, and it's hard to run around it and get to the enemy the right way because he spams them. He really spams all of those perfumes, and he can just throw out 50 perfumes at a time, and it's really hard to get around them. So, really annoying enemy, but yeah, just an annoying enemy. And I died again to it, like I already said, so. That was a little bit annoying. And I'm about to I made myself some coffee, so I'm just kind of straining that right now. Well, I guess I'm straining it right now. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm straining it. So the coffee that I use, well, that I make the coffee grounds that I use, the brand is. Let me get to it. Hang on a second. So the brand is called Happy, and the flavor, I suppose, is Magnificent Medium Roast Ground Coffee. I guess it's not really a flavor, that's just the what level, I guess, of roast it is. And it says at the bottom, with notes of berries and optimism. I thought that it was just buzzwording at first, but the box was pretty cool. I mean, the labeling was pretty cool. There it is. I like it a lot. And it really does have notes of berries. I was surprised. It's nothing incredibly strong, obviously, and you might even say that I can only taste that because it was suggested by the labeling, by the branding. But, one second. Oh man, yeah, it's absolutely there, no lie. Whether it's branding or whether whether it's there in actuality, do I even want to use this creamer? I usually drink my coffee black, but I just started using creamer. I just tried creamer for the first time about 2 weeks ago, and I didn't know what I was doing, so she put 2 creamers in the coffee, and that made it taste so much worse. There was no flavor to it. It just made it lighter and kind of not as bitter, and I like the bitter taste, so that was just a very disappointing downgrade. But I also like to try new things every time, basically any opportunity I have to. Whenever I go to a restaurant, I very rarely get the exact same thing. I always try something else. Especially when I go to new places, I never get what I'm familiar with at new places. I always want to try, to see what they have there, what their specialties are, and then I give those a try. So I say that to say, going back to the coffee, I went to my gas station, my local gas station, 7-Eleven, and then I just tried the one of the creamers that they had there. It was pumpkin spice. So I got my coffee, I got a pumpkin spice, and I mixed it in just to try it, see, maybe the first time I tried creamer, something was wrong with it, I didn't know what I was doing, so I tried again flavored, and it was really, really good. It was awesome. Delicious, I loved it. And so I got... I went to the same grocery store just so I could grab a creamer, and also so I could grab some candy. Oh, I don't know why I did that. I got myself a little Reese's cup there, and I got myself a creamer as well, because you can't just go in there and take a creamer and leave, right? I mean, I guess you could, but you're not really supposed to do that. Air quotes supposed to. So, I mean, if everybody did that, it would be a problem. So, I don't want to start. If it's not a common thing and it's not good for the business, then I won't. So that's why I don't want to just walk in there and take a creamer, even if I could, because nobody would say anything because they know me there really well. I love that store. But, let me put this in the fridge first. Anyway, I'm saying all that to say, getting back to the topic again, sorry I do that a lot, is, yeah, I got this other flavor, hazelnut. You got hazelnut. And I was going to try it, but I just tasted the sip of that black coffee again, and oh man. Man, oh man. That's good coffee. 1 second. Oh yeah. The lighting here is kind of dim. I think... Let me turn on my lamp. Yeah, I think that's better. I think you guys can see what I'm doing a little bit more, so... Yeah, got my coffee. black. Got my Elden Ring recording. And I have you all my viewers. So, that is everything I need. I am all good. Life is good. Life is good. There's always problems in life, but it's better to be optimistic and to I just got one-shotted. I just got one-shotted. Life sucks. I hate living. I hate no, seriously. Actually, it wasn't that bad. It was just another excuse for me to take a sip of the Joe. So there you go. Everything happens for a reason. Ultimately a good reason. I believe that everything ultimately happens for a good reason. Because if there is a positive and a negative outcome to everything... Oh, wait a second. Are his eyes glowing? I don't think they are. I thought his eyes were glowing, and that would mean that he would drop some extra runes, but also he would be stronger. But that would also mean that he'd have a little bit more health, and I'm already running an under-leveled character, so I would just end up getting one-shotted even worse, and being upset that I got one-shotted again. That I got one-shotted again. That I got one-shotted again. Yeah. Whenever, you have to deal with the positive and the negative consequences of something happening, I kind of have a habit of speaking in a way of what other people should do, or you have to. And then that kind of opens other threads of conversations of what, of how other people react to things, which I don't want to focus on, because it's easier to focus on myself, So what I do is I always focus on the positives whenever I have positives and negatives to... Are you kidding me? Wait, I have a bow and arrow. What am I doing? Why am I... Wow, that was so easy. I forgot that I was running an archery build, and I was trying to fight him up close with a dagger. Just screwing myself over by not using my primary weapon. Jeez, that was... it's funny. He didn't even dodge a single one of those attacks. He's a ranged fighter. Kind of a mid-range enemy, the perfumers. And he didn't dodge a single arrow, and I wasn't even that far from him. That's funny. So I always focus on the positives of anything, because it's better to. It's just better to. Because what's the alternative? What else am I going to do? I'm going to focus on the negative. I'm going to get stuck up on the bad parts of whatever I'm dealing with. I'm going to think about what I'm losing, or the discomfort that I'm in, or I'm going to think about how difficult the thing that I'm going to need to do is, or I'll start despairing on how things will never go right, or this always happens, or anything like that. But there is always a silver lining. There's always something positive to see in whatever situation you're in. And, well, in whatever situation I'm in. And I always choose to see things from the positive way. To see the positivity in things, I should say. it's a healthier way to live, and it's better for you. In the long run in life, it is better for you to be an optimist than to be a pessimist. But I don't think that that means to be a fool, because you can be a foolish optimist, and you can be a foolish pessimist. A foolish optimist, I think everyone knows what that is, what that looks like. But people say they'd rather be a pessimist than an optimist, or they say there's no disappointment in pessimism. But I don't entirely agree with that. A foolish pessimist, their foolishness manifests in talking themselves out of opportunities, not even trying things, well, opting out of trying things hard enough, or trying to do things a different kind of way, confiding in others, trusting in others. I suppose that each person would define an optimist, would define. Okay. I guess that each person would. This is. Okay, so I'm not sure if you saw. In my last video, I kind of talked about this, or it might have been my first one that I deleted. I sometimes get way too caught up in trying to pick the right words to express what I'm trying to say, and then I end up just thinking about it and ruining my whole flow of thoughts and monologue. First, let me close my door. Sorry. So that's what just happened right there. Sorry for that. But to say it as simply as possible, not necessarily in layman's terms, but just the best way that I can describe it with the words that are coming to me now. I don't want to, sit here for the next 30, 40, 60 seconds trying to think about the right word when I could just say whatever is on my mind, even if it's not the most optimal way of saying it, and just trust that you'll understand what I'm saying in close enough proximity. I guess that depends on how each person would define an optimist and a pessimist, and how they make their decisions. But we're also making gross generalizations here, because we're removing the independence of the person, the uniqueness of the person, and an optimist and a pessimist. Two optimists aren't the same. Two pessimists aren't the same. So, like I said, that's what we're doing right now, is just making broad generalizations. But I think that even though two optimists are not the same and two pessimists are not the same, the term exists for a reason, because there is a kind of a unanimously agreed upon kind of character that looks like. Unanimously agreed upon attitude and behavior and way of thinking, mode of life, that both of those things have. So, I don't know why I said any of that. And I apologize. One moment. Yeah, welcome to my blogs. This is just me. Man, I tell you, this is really just me talking. And jumping from topic to topic. Like I said in the very first video, I deleted that, so I'm just going to reiterate it here. A stream of conscious thoughts is all that this is. Just a stream of conscious thoughts. And maybe I'll say something that'll stick with you. Maybe I'll say something that will, like pique your interest, and then you will maybe look something up, start thinking about it some more on your own. I don't know. Or maybe not. Maybe you will just, you're just clicking on it because you like hearing my voice, because you're weird. I don't know. I'd rather be an optimist. I would rather be an optimist. Oh, yeah, I can finish saying what I was saying before related to that. It's better for you in the long run of life, because when you're an optimist, you. Oh, and there's also gauges to it. You know, nobody is strictly, excuse me, an optimist or a pessimist. We're all kind of somewhere in the middle a little bit. We all have. We all think positive things about different situations. We all think negative things about. Oh my gosh, I hate. You've got to be kidding me, man. What is this? Dude, this freaking red bug thing, man. It took me all the way across the map. Jeez. Sorry. You know what? Do I want to try and take on this enemy? I might have enough arrows for it. Here we go, man. Here we go. I'm trying to fight these dogs with my bow and arrows, and I'm not going to verbalize what just happened, how that fight concluded. Please read the physical cues for that answer. Okay. Anyway. I've restarted this same thought about 3 or 4 times now, and I still have... that enemy came back to life. I still haven't finished what I was even trying to say the first time. Oh my goodness. It's healthier to live as an optimist than a pessimist over a greater course of time, because you'll trust, and you manifest your reality. Reality is what you perceive it. If you always see the cup as half empty, if you always are suspicious of people, if you always, you're suspicious of others, you're mistrustful of others, you don't make people feel good about themselves, or more importantly, you feel good about yourselves, because that's the main thing, right? You're going to, that's stressful, and that doesn't feel good. That's no way to live. That is no way to live, and it starts to show on your face. It's like how when racist people mature, and they start getting mature, getting older, they start to age really quickly, and their skin starts to look really bad. And I say racist people, that they're just the first ones that come to mind for me, but that goes for any type of pessimist, just a negative person, hateful, contemptuous, spiteful person that doesn't know love, that doesn't have kindness in their heart, that doesn't have good faith. Some type of good faith in people, and just have a good spirit. When you have a foul spirit about yourself, it shows. It always shows, in one way or another. People can tell, people can see it, and I'm not saying that people don't have a reason to. We're all justified. We all have a right to see the world the way that we want to see it, and believe what we want to believe, but we also have choices to see things the way that we want to see them, and believe what we want to believe. And especially in a first world country, Oh, crab! That crab just appeared right in my camera while I was in the start menu, and I was able to dash out of the way, fortunately. Just switched my game to maximum settings from medium, since I'm finally playing on 4K, so I'm going back out to the menu so I can go back into the game. I wonder if how much hotter this is going to make my CPU. Let me go to my Core Temp app and see. Oh my goodness, I was really on a roll with what I was saying before, but I forgot. I kind of lost my train of thought. What was I? Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, no, this is bad. It's like 45 frames a second. What the hell? Oh yeah, no, yeah, no, I'm gonna have to go back to high settings. High is okay. High is okay. When you have a foul spirit, it shows on yourself, and most importantly, but also to others, and your attitude, your spirit becomes amplified the older you get, and the more you invest in it. You ever seen those old people that are just a real pain to be around? They're not pleasant. They're not really positive. They don't have a positive outlook on anything. They're very suspicious, very negative of others, thinking the worst of people. People are out to get them. People are not dependable. People are not reliable. Again, not to say that they aren't justified in thinking that, but we've all seen those types of people before, and that is proof of the type of lives they've lived, and of the state of mind that they nurtured growing up. And you can tell. You don't know their whole life story, and on a conscious level, you might not be thinking that exact thought, like, wow, this person must have been negative all their life. Obviously, you're not going to be thinking, something like that. But what I'm saying is, I need to find the map for this area. What I'm saying is that it shows. Again, yes to others, but most importantly to yourself, because your health is important. You gotta take care of yourself. You take good care of yourself, you take good care of others, you're able to do more for others, you take good care of others. And thinking positively is a part of that. And for some people, it's a lot harder than it is. For some people, it's a lot harder than it is for others, because I said this yesterday in my video, but it's really unfortunate, truly unfortunate, the cards that some people are dealt at birth, and the cards that some people are dealt in life. Truly, truly unfortunate. And when you come across a person who's been dealt some tough cards, they've got a tough deck, but they still do the best with what they have, and they're positive in spite of it, or at least they put on a front that they're positive about it. That is strength. To me, that is what true strength is. When you can be positive and believe in the best, treat others well, no matter how tough, how unfair your life circumstances are. That is strength, and that is inspiring. And whenever I see I've been getting a lot of videos in my feed for some reason lately about people that some people that are crippled from one thing or another, people that have terrible drug addictions, people that were disfigured from accidents or maybe birth defects, or any other type of thing like that. You get what I mean? I've been getting a lot of videos like that, and at least the ones that I've seen, those people, man, thinking back on them, I don't know. I just can't help. I can't help but be inspired and be motivated by them. Okay, put down the controller. To be motivated by them and to see what I have more. To be more appreciative of what I have, I should say. And that's not to say to be glad that I'm not them. That's not what I mean. But I'm inspired by their bravery and by their optimism and their positivity to have those same behaviors, to incorporate those same behaviors in the way that I think, the way that I live, the way that I look at my life. Because, well, sometimes you just have more privilege than other people. Sometimes you have more privilege than other people, and that doesn't make you a better person. Privilege does not make you a good person. Most of you watching this video are in a first world country. A few of you might be in a third world, I don't know. And yeah, compared to some of you out there, and even some of you in the first world countries, because there's levels to it, yeah, I am more privileged. And when I see people with less than me, but also with more than me, in heart and in mind, those are the beacons of light that we need in the world to inspire people and to motivate them to be examples of how we should look at life and engage life. Yeah, I think I have a hard time explaining myself sometimes, but that is the best way that I can explain that. And I hope that made sense. There's all sorts of people in the world. You got good people, you got bad people. You got nice people, you got mean people. Pessimists, optimists. The privileged, the unprivileged. The talented and the untalented, the gifted, the ungifted. And we're all called to love them all. To love our enemies. That's what it's all about. And I think that's the other part to this. I think that, well, no, it's not that I think. It is very, 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 very easy for me to say all of this stuff. Because I have all of the privileges that I do. I have my looks. I have my physique. I have my intelligence. I have my mind. I have a lot of things going for me. I have a car. I have a home. I'm able to sit here and do recreational things like this, waste time in my day, just playing games, playing a game and recording a video for you all, and have food in the fridge, and not worry about too much. I'm extremely privileged, and it is very easy for me to, or at least it's far easier for me to say this stuff and truly believe it than it is for a lot of you out there. But despite that, I can't sit here and tell you, yes, you should be negative. Yes, you should just give up. Yes, you should be mean to others, You know, breed contempt in your heart, and invest in a foul spirit. I can't tell you that. I can't tell you to be negative. I can't. The best thing that I can do for you is to tell you to be positive. The best thing that I can tell you to do for you, for your loved ones, for your friends, for your future, is to be positive. Think positively. Think about what you do have, what you have to look forward to, the people around you. Think about how you can be happy for others, and the things that they have, and the things that others have done, and how you can help others, just be of service to others. It's difficult. It's absolutely difficult. Because, for me, I deal with loneliness pretty bad. I am, I get quite lonely sometimes. I've only ever had one... Oh, geez. I had one girlfriend in my life, and... Yeah, I kind of wish that I hadn't had that relationship. And then I've had a lot of other encounters as well. But I've changed my lifestyle, and I'm practicing chastity, at least until marriage, celibacy. That's what that's called, celibacy. And I'm in my late 20s, and while only having one partner and other things, yeah, I get lonely. I see others out with their significant others. Guys out with their girlfriends, girls out with their boyfriends, and yeah, sometimes I do get envious. I start thinking, man, I really wish that I could have that. And it's kind of easy for me, because I know that I will one day. It's just a matter of patience and waiting. I know that I'm going to have a family. I know that I'm going to have a wife, and that I'll find happiness. There's no doubt in my mind that I will. But it's still the weight that geez, it just really weighs down on me. Sometimes I start to think that there's something wrong with me. Something wrong with all of us, but there's more things wrong with me than others. That I'm not made for it, that I can't have it. Yeah, those thoughts do get to me sometimes. And maybe it's because I have a relationship with God, that I know these things are coming, that I don't despair about them the way that I used to before I found the church and before I found a relationship with God. But yeah, it's very easy to get bitter sometimes when I'm out in public, and very easy to get stuck in my own mind and get insecure about myself and feel like, yeah, I'm ready to go. I want to get out of here. Just go back home and be miserable. That does happen. That does happen every now and then. It's not a regular thing, but it does sometimes. And like I said, that's a regular thing, but it's not as extreme as it was before I found my relationship with God. I developed my relationship with God. And now that I have Him, I'm, even though I said what I just said, it's kind of weird. It's weird to explain it, because I'm I'm not a machine. I'm not a computer. I don't. Sometimes our thoughts are conflicting. Sometimes I could explain myself better than what I am saying. I could choose better words. I could frame it in a better way. But despite all of those things that I just said, I'm still very positive. And I'm happy for other people that are in relationships. I have to be. I hope that I hope that things are going well for them. I hope that their relationships are successful. I've never looked at a couple. I am proud to say, I've never looked at a couple and thought, I really hope that they break up, or I hope that something awful happens to one of them. I've never said that. I've never had that thought before, or any thought like that. And I'm proud that I haven't. Because what would that do for me? What would that do for my mind? What would that do for them? To have some guy thinking so negatively about them and just wishing illness on them, misfortune, destruction. What would that do for anyone? So even though I do get insecure about it sometimes, and it does make me look at myself differently, and I get kind of down about it, all that I can do is be happy for them. And if not happy, then at least neutral and not let it get to me. The thing is, when I see those couples when I'm out, I don't think illness of them. If anything, it makes me think illness of myself. That's a difference. That's what I'm getting at. What I'm trying to say here. And yeah, just got to be happy for them. Be glad that they have it. Rest assured that you will, in time. Rest assured that I will, in time. That thing again, don't want to speak for everybody, just speak for myself. Rest assured that I will, in time. And whoever can relate to it, can relate to it. There we go. And yeah, just be easy. Just take it easy. Because again, what is the alternative? Despair, self-hate, making an enemy out of myself, being contemptuous of others, jealousy, bitterness. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want that. I don't want that. If I'm going to be lonely, I'd rather be alone. I'd rather be lonely and positive than lonely and negative. Because that's about the worst double whammy that you can get. Yeah, to be alone and to be negative, oh jeez. That, oh boy. Yeah, that would suck. That would suck. That is no way to live. That's no way to treat yourself. That is no way to treat yourself, to treat your mind, to treat the world. No way at all. Yeah, probably didn't see that coming, huh? Hear that coming. Pause. Yeah. I almost didn't record this video, but I'm glad that I did. Because I get to hear myself talk and, get out of my mind, put it on the mic. We talk to ourselves differently in our minds than we do in real life. Because we don't have to, we express ourselves differently. Our feelings and our thoughts on things and our minds differently than we do when we vocalize it. We don't always use language when we don't always use language when we think about things in our minds, because it isn't always necessary. A lot of the times we do, but a lot of the times it's just feeling intense feelings, intense emotions about things, or we just feel. We know how we feel in our minds. But it's expressing those things, it's verbalizing them that changes the expression. Maybe it doesn't change the expression. It's how can I say that better? When we think things in our minds, we express things differently than we do in. Okay, I think that I'm about to start sounding really stupid because I'm having a hard time. I know what I'm trying to say. I know what I'm thinking in my mind, but I'm trying to figure out how I can get it out in a way for you all to understand. It does make sense. I promise it makes sense. I'm just trying to figure out how to explain it. Maybe I can explain what I'm feeling and what I'm thinking right now. So when I'm thinking things in my mind, when I'm not on the camera, when I'm not talking to anybody, it's just feelings. I don't know. It isn't exactly articulated thoughts. It's kind of an incoherent stream of words, of kind of passages of thoughts, so to speak. Words aren't necessary because I know how I'm feeling. I don't need to express the way that I feel to myself in words and language and verbal language because I know how I feel. But it's when I talk to others, well, it's when we talk to others, this I can't say we for. It's when we talk to others, even if it's to ourselves or if it's to our camera, that we get outside of our minds and we think about things differently. We're challenged to articulate our thoughts, to choose words, to not necessarily abandon feeling, but to combine feeling with, what's the word? To combine feeling with language, to combine feeling with let me see. To combine, what do you combine feeling with when you express yourselves? I think that, I mean, the words that I'm thinking of are expressions. Well, no, you combine feeling with language, with expressions, with language, with words. But there's a certain I just want to use a different word to say it. But in saying that, I think that it's clear enough what I'm trying to say. So, yeah. Yeah. That's why it's different. And that's why I decided to record this video, so I could get out of my mind and into my body, and get out of my mind and out of my body, and put it out into the world, put my thoughts out there. Because it changes. It just changes. And I got one-shotted by a guy. In the video game, obviously. Imagine getting one-shotted in real life, that'd be crazy. Yep, that's my cue. I really hope that I'm getting better at explaining myself. I don't think that I am. I don't think that I am. It's only been it's only the third day. Third one of these videos. And I was playing the game again. Oh man, I should have drew. Because again, I am dividing my attention between what I'm trying to say, thinking about things, and playing the game. So yeah, maybe next time I'll draw, and then I'll have an easier time getting out what I'm trying to say, choosing the right words, so on, so forth. You get it? thank you for watching. Where's my mouse? Okay, thank you for watching.